بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hello everyone. We are starting into chapter 3 as we are going on. For chapter 2 everybody's asked to do the homework or the exercises at the end of chapter 2, all of them, and hand them on by this coming Wednesday. For the chapter 3 is talking about stylistic problems. First, we'd like to talk about what is stylistic. Stylistics is a branch of applied linguistics, is the study and interpretations of text of all types and spoken language in regard to their linguistics and tonal style, where style is the particular variety of languages or language used by different individuals and or in different situations or settings. Okay, it's very important too that style has a big impact or effect on the meaning when doing a translation. Style is viewed as part of a meaning and it affects it in different ways and to different degrees. So a change of style means a change of meaning of some kind. Style is no longer seen as irrelevant to meaning, separated from it, or the dress that has nothing to do with it. A good example of this, let's go straight into examples. If we translate from all these sentences in English to one meaning, which is مات والدها أمس, it doesn't apply to all of this, because let's read it first. Her father died yesterday. Her father was killed yesterday. Her father licked or bit the dust yesterday. Her father kicked the bucket yesterday. Her father passed away yesterday. Her father was martyred in the battlefield yesterday. Her father slept his last sleep yesterday. Her father was hanged yesterday. It's supposed to mean literal translation of, not literal translation, مات والدها أمس in Arabic. But that, like we said first, if we don't follow the style, you cannot tell. I mean, it means that somebody died yesterday, her father has died yesterday, that's what the matter is. But we don't know the cause of the death. Did he die naturally, unnaturally, honorably, or dishonorably, got killed, hanged, or died in the battlefield, or in bed, or out of illness, or a car accident? What matter that he is dead now? This kind of argument cannot be accepted, for this cause of death is extremely crucial to both the dead person and to his family. That is, natural death is quite normal and acceptable to people. Somebody died natural, it's normal for people. But when somebody get killed or hanged or unnatural death by killing or premeditated murder, it's serious, because people will have questions, will have doubts. It's also bad to talk about somebody who's martyred and call him just dead. It's very offensive in our culture. So somebody shaheed and calling him as a victim or ضحية or qatil or this kind of stuff. So the Arabic version, we should translate it this way. When we say her father died yesterday, مات والدها أمس. Her father was killed yesterday, it means he was قتل yesterday أمس. Or her father bit the dust, her father kicked the bucket. These are all the proverbs and expression into what somebody died. Her father passed away yesterday, also رحل والدها. Or her father was martyred in the battlefield, استشهد والدها. Her father slept his last sleep yesterday, نام نومته الأخيرة, let's say, مات يعني. Her father was hanged yesterday, we can say أعدم أو شنق أمس. There are considerable stylistic differences among these versions. Is normal, natural, and neutral death. And B is abnormal, unnatural, and despicable crime. C is a murder from behind. The D is a humorous, unfavorable, and colloquial. E is agreeable and respectable for the dead. F is religious and sublime. And G is informal and unagreeable. That's what style does to affect into the translation. Furthermore, we could define style as the different choices made by writers from the language stock in regard to layout or shape, grammar, vocabulary or words, phonology or sounds, namely from all aspects, levels, and components of languages. This means that there are a number of layouts, grammatical structure, word, phonological feature available in language from which the writer of text makes specific choices. Let's go to the next question. The question now, shall we retain the style of the English text or change it into an equivalent in Arabic style? The answer is we keep the English style in Arabic when possible. However, when not possible, when we can't do it, or when an equivalent Arabic style is available, we translate the English style into it. In all cases, the style of the Arabic translation depends on and is derived from the style of the English original. This leads to stylistic equivalence. We all know this, the style of formality versus informality. In English, frozen formal, formal, informal, colloquial, and vulgar or slang, which is the fasih, formal, فصيحا جدا, for frozen, formal, informal, غير شبه رسمي أو شبه فصيح, colloquial, which is the عامي, and vulgar or slang, which is سوقي, and it has some bad words or some inappropriate words. If, for example, we're frozen, we say be seated, please. Formal, we say have a seat. Informal, sit down, please. Colloquial, feel at home. Vulgar, sit bloody down, or sit the hell down, or whatever they call that. To better, abbreviate this, we could use just two things or two names. Instead of 5 styles, we're going to combine them into 2 styles, formal or informal. Formal will include frozen, formal, and formal. The first 2 goes into formal. The rest, which is informal, colloquial, and vulgar, goes into informal. This is also explanation for this. You should go over it. The classical, also in Arabic, we have formal and informal. Classical Arabic is the language of the Holy Quran, the Prophet's tradition, and classical literature. The modern standard Arabic, which is MSA, which is mostly we use now, the formal written Arabic of today, the modern stuff. Colloquial Arabic is the language of conversation, the chats, talking. The vulgar or slang Arabic is the very local, unkind, or bad, like we say, with bad language. If we're going to translate it, you can see how we can translate the frozen formal goes into classical Arabic. The formal or informal go to MSA, which we said the modern standard Arabic. Colloquial is colloquial Arabic, and the vulgar is both language is the same. We can take an example for this from a general text. It says, you can't paint watercolors without knowing how to lay a wash. So anyone can learn the knack if they are willing to go to a bit of trouble. People have their own fads about the drill, but my methods seem to work as anyone's. And the Arabic translation, informal, لا يمكنك أن ترسم بالألوان المائية دون معرفتك كيف تحضر الألوان، رغم أن أي واحد يستطيع أن يتعلم هذه الشطارة إذا كان يريدون الوقوع في مشكل. للناس مراقهم الخاص في التمرن، ولكن مراق يبدو فعالا تماما كما هو مراق الآخرين. The informal feature of the English text, it's a lot of them. The use of the second person pronouns, style you, that's not formal. The use of the contractions, can't, don't, want. The use of words like knack, special skill, a bit of, and fad, whim. The use of simple common words and simple easy sentence structure throughout the whole text. The informal feature of the Arabic text, which is this, goes into the use of second person pronoun, معرفتك, ترسم, يمكنك. The use of such words as دون معرفتك, الوقوع في مشكل, شطارة, مراق. These are informal words that we use there. The disregard of the concord between singular and the plural of verb. كانوا يريدون or أي واحد. And the ignorance of standard word order. Is not put in the right order. The vowels stopping at the end of words by omitting vowelization, namely stopping on sukoon, which is not supposed to be. We stop on sukoon, we could see all these marks. These are singular form, maraqahum, instead of the plural form, maraqatin. Another possible easier version for the structure in particular is the use of the MSA as follows. لا يمكنك أن ترسم الألوان بها دون معرفة كيف تحضر الألوان، رغم أن أي واحد يستطيع أن يتعلم هذه الشطارة إذا كان يريد الوقوع في مشكلة. The translation for the English one says, are willing to go to a bit of trouble. I need you to find out if this translation is not correct or is correct, or says كان يريدون الوقوع في مشكلة. Does this really a translation for willing to go to a bit of trouble? I need you to get me the right translation in Arabic. Somebody could answer me later on and send it into their homework after that. Okay. You have to read this. We are going into also the style of fronting. Before that, let me go back to explain something also about stylistics, which is the different aspect of stylistic problems. Stylistic problems of translation may be approached from several angles: style of language, their peculiarities, their goals, and their interrelation. For a literary translator, understanding the style of the source text and being able to recreate similar stylistic effects in the target text are essential. So the style of the target text is an expression of the translator's choice. This is mainly an explanation of what stylistic. Let's go back to style of fronting. Fronting is an important stylistic device used widely at both the sentence and the text level. We could use it like if we rearrange the sentence to put some words instead of the middle goes back to the front of the text, or vice versa. Instead of the orders subject, verb, object, complement, a sentence starts with an object. This object is fronted, like Allah, she worshipped. Instead, she worshipped Allah. Or otherwise, the complement is usually positioned after the verb. In my room, he slept, instead of he slept in my room. As to clauses, the normal clause order in English is the main clause first, then the subordinate clause. When the subordinate clause is not put before the main clause, it is fronted. But let's say, as he had been caught red-handed, the criminal was sentenced to death. Frontings are not made by chance, but for good reason. That is, the fronted words or clauses have a more important function of emphasis than the other parts of the sentence. This means that they play a vital role in understanding the meaning. Therefore, they must be taken into consideration in Arabic as follows. Allah, she worshipped. Allahu abadat hiya, yani abadat Allah. Instead of she worshipped Allah. In my room, he slept. Instead of he slept in my room. في غرفتي نام. Both the glorified Allah Jalla Jalaluhu and في غرفتي are not in their normal position in Arabic, yet they have to be in such position to reflect the same function of emphasis and surprise aimed at the English original. Same thing for the English. As he had been caught red-handed, he was sentenced to death. نظرا لأنه قبض عليه متلبسا حكم على المجرم بالإعدام. When we translate, we have to stick to the style. So we have to stay close as much as possible to the style of the translation. We can rearrange, we can rephrase, but we always have to stick. We have to go by the style. We have to keep it as close to the original style of the language, the source language. Therefore, requires to be reflected and respected in Arabic. So the suggested translation shows here one more example. If you apologize, I will forgive you. إذا اعتذرت فسوف أسامحك. The second clause is conditioned by the first. This is a good reason for fronting the latter. Despite being subordinate in Arabic, this order shall or should be retained and to convey the same condition as confirmed by the version here. If fronting is used not only at the sentence level but also at the text level. Consider the following example. Round a centrally placed coffee table, there are 3 armchairs. To the left of the fireplace is an alcove with built-in bookshelves. To the right, a table carrying a television set. Against the wall facing the fireplace stands an upright piano. It's from Nash. The underlined adverbial, if we want to translate the equivalent fronted Arabic phrases, are underlined. We can say حول طائلة صغيرة متمركزة في الوسط يوجد 3 كراسي. إلى الجهة اليسرى من الموقد فجوة بها فيها رفوف الكتب. إلى الجهة اليمنى طاولة عليها جهاز تلفاز. على الحائط مقابل الموقد ينتصب بيانو عمودي. To understand the function of the fronted phrase, here is an alternative translation which illustrates their normal emphasized position. If you're going to put it in the normal position, not in Arabic, يوجد 3 كراسي حول طاولة صغيرة متمركزة في الوسط. فجوة فيها رفوف كتب إلى الجهة اليسرى من الموقد. طاولة عليها جهاز تلفاز إلى الجهة اليمنى. ينتصب بيانو عمودي على الحائط مقابل الموقد. There is nothing unusual about the underlined phrases here, which does not reflect the spirit and the emphasis of the original. In other words, a part of the message and style will be lost if we translate it like the one we just did. We are losing some of the style, so we better stick with the same style. We translated the first thing when we start with حول طاولة صغيرة متمركزة في الوسط. This is part of the examples. The third part is style of parallelism. Parallelism, when 2 structures are identical to one another, they are described as parallel. Such parallelism can be important to meaning, implying a balance between 2 or more messages. My father is ill, my mother is sad, my sister is worried. Structure of these short sentences are parallel as shows below. My father, my mother, my sister, noun, and the subjects. The all subjects or nouns is, and the verb is ill, sad, worried, adjective, and complements. You could put them on all one sentence. والدي مريض, أمي حزينة, أختي قلقة. And it should be noted that if there is a change of the parallel grammatical structure of the English original in Arabic, as the case here, we have to produce parallelism in the new Arabic grammatical structure of sentence. We'll say أبي مريض لذا أمي حزينة عليه وكذلك أختي قلقة عليه. Could say that أبي مريض مما سبب الحزن لأمي والقلق لأختي. Although these are acceptable translations, they are rather explanations. More importantly, they disregard the stylistic device of parallelism, which has functions that are inseparable from meaning, as argued above. This is another example, like we said, we could read all the examples, and we're going to go on one more. I always advise my brother not to get nervous when he's dejected. He usually wants me not to be passive when he is angry. Both of us often ask our parents not to be worried when we are different. These 3 sentences have identical parallel structure. I always advise my brother. He usually wants me. Both of us often ask our parents. Not to get nervous. Also, not to be passive, not to be worried. Also, same exact style. Not plus 2 plus V, the verb plus the adjective of sentence. When he's dejected, when he's angry, and when we are different. I always advise my brother, same thing, not to get nervous when he's dejected. أنصح أخي دائما لا يكون عصبيا عندما يكون مكتئبا. we could divide them this way. Therefore, we have to reserve parallelism in Arabic as follows. Each clause is translated individually first for clarification, followed by the whole translation. We separate them in 1, 2, 3 parts, then we can gather them together and do the whole paragraph. أنصح أخي دائما لا يكون عصبيا عندما يكون مكتئبا. يريدني عادة ألا أكون سلبيا when he's angry عندما يكون غاضبا. 3. Both of us often ask our parents not to be worried when we are different. الآن غالبا ما يرجو والدي ألا يكون قلقين عندما يكون مختلفا. 3 different things. If we put them all together, the difference in word orders is unimportant. Which is important too is to retain the word class, the noun adjective and adjective. أنصح أخي دائما ألا يكون عصبيا عندما يكون مكتئبا. يريدني عادة ألا أكون سلبيا عندما يكون غاضبا. كلانا غالبا ما يرجو والديه ألا يكون قلقين أو ألا يقلقا. The next one is a style of ambiguity. صيد الصيادين خارق للعادة. The shooting of the hunter is extraordinary. Flying planes can be dangerous. قد يكون طائرات خطرة. Here, the shooting itself could have two meanings. The shooting اللي هو killing the hunter قتل الصيادين or killing the birds قتل الطيور. We could say that the way they shoot the birds or somebody shoot the hunters themselves. Neither of these two meanings is clearly stated in the sentence. We cannot tell which one they mean by the sentence. Therefore, the same ambiguity should be kept in Arabic. If there's an ambiguous in the original text in English, we could keep the same ambiguity. We call it Sayd, the Sayyadeen. It gives the required sense here. Just like flying has two senses also here. قيادة الطائرات, the driving of the planes, or the planes which are flying, أو الطائرات التي تطير في الجو. We could call them flying planes, what the طائرات الطائرة, that's what they mean, or قيادة الطائرات, flying planes, which could mean, that's what it means, the driving of the planes, قيادة الطائرة itself, or the planes that are flying. There's, like say, also the Arabic word which convey both senses. You could say طائران and leave it the way it is. I smell a rat in what you say. يلعب الفار فيما تقول. I don't trust them. أشتم رائحة مكيدة. تصورني شكوك. Okay. You could just go through all these examples. If you have any question, post them on e-learning at Isra University on our website. We'll go to e-learning and post what you think. Why do you think we make Nuttels Mentos such a deliciously smooth, cool, creamy, minty, chewy, round, slow, velvety, fresh, clean, solid, buttery taste? He's talking about the Mentos. Do you know Mentos? Mentos is the one candy like gummy things. I guess we have it here. لماذا تظن أن نجعل منتوز نتال ذات مذاق شيطاني سلس بارد قشدي نعناعي مضغي دائري بطيء مخملي طازج نظيف متين وزبدي برري. Here the Arabic version has exactly the same style of complexity of the original, including the absence of commas among adjectives. Complexity is the result of 13 successive adjectives for one and the same noun. مذاق. All these nouns 13 اسم for كلمة وصف أو حال أو وصف لكلمة مذاق. مذاق شيطاني سلس بارد قشدي نعناعي مضغي دائري بطيء مخملي طازج نظيف متين وزبدي. 13 وصف لكلمة مذاق. The style of short sentences. The normal unmarked style of sentence is those of medium length. However, short and long sentences are two marked styles that have different functions and implications in relation to meaning. Like this. The police heard a little noise inside the bank. The robber noticed that he wanted to escape. The police chased him. Pedestrians noticed the scene. One of them shouted at the robber. Another blocked his way. Then the police arrived and arrested him. The style of short sentence here has an important function. It heightens the tempo of action in this text, which is written in the form of a story. Make it sound like a story. The can be sensed at reading the text aloud and quickly. This style has to be reproduced in the Arabic translation to keep this function. سمعت الشرطة جلبة خفيفة داخل المصرف. لاحظ اللص ذلك. أراد أن يهرب. أرادته الشرطة. لاحظ المارة المشهد. صاح أحدهم باللص. قام آخر بسد طريقه. حينئذ وصلت الشرطة واعتقلت. It's the same thing. Middle. No cohesive devices like are used in this version. No fa wa. We didn't use the waw. الوصل. This reflects the follow-up of events stage by stage. It's not advisable to write the text in one long sentence, for it has a different function, as the next section will confirm. Let's go to the next example. Okay. The style of complexity then has to reflect in Arabic without any attempt to simplify it, because it has specific function which cannot be expressed by a simple or any other style. These functions are relevant to meaning and therefore should not be ignored. You can guys try to do translation of that for next class. The style of the longer sentences or long sentences is a little different. It's a little longer, and we have to use commas. This is a long, complicated sentence, yet it has to take as one unit and one idea. In an attempt to help his ill mother, who needed an operation in a specialist hospital in London, which was quite expensive and demanded money to be paid in advance, the boy, who was still very young and inexperienced, worked in a mechanical workshop day and night to earn as much money as he could as quickly as possible. We could translate it. This is very long, like I said, sentence where we have to keep it all together because they are all interconnected and would not be understood unless they are taken together as one whole. We have to keep them all one whole, otherwise you could break the meaning. في محاولة لمساعدة أمه المريضة التي كانت بحاجة إلى عملية في مستشفى متخصص في لندن، والذي كان باهظا جدا وطلب دفع النقود مقدما، عمل الصبي الذي كان ما يزال صغيرا وعديم الخبرة في ورشة تصليح سيارات ليلا نهارا ليكسب قدر ما يستطيع من النقود وبأسرع ما يمكن. This is the translation. That's why we have to use commas or full stops to keep, or we have to keep it all in one whole. We cannot separate this break it into pieces for translation. This will take us into 3.8, which is page 246, passive versus active style. I think we should stop here. We'll see how the translation goes.